Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadlines so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Oh my God, you're gonna love it.
Hey folks, welcome to the AI Chicks, where we're providing you cool conversations about AI for all. With each episode bringing you a different topic on how AI impacts your daily life. I'm your host, Aisha Wynn, always coming in hot with that fun, cool, unique perspective on tech. And like always, I got my co-host, Bestie, here.
Hi guys, I'm Lana Hout. I'm bringing the curls, the charisma, that entrepreneurial energy, and that fresh perspective.
And guess what, folks? We've already been doing the AI Chicks for a whole year now.
I know, it's our 1 year anniversary.
So we welcome you to season 2, where we're going to be bringing you more new guests, more topics as always, because guess what? AI isn't going anywhere, right, Lana?
No, it's definitely here to stay. And so we're so excited. We have a lot of interesting topics, a lot of interesting guests that are going to be joining us for this season. And I think we're giving people a very different perspective on AI that I'm really excited about. All the different ways that it's starting to really permeate throughout our lives.
Yes, and even not just our lives, but we have some topics coming up where we're talking about AI and the afterlife.
Your digital afterlife, if you can even believe it. So we're really excited. This is going to be a fun, action-packed season, starting off with today.
Yes, today we are not doing any guests because we're bringing you the AI headlines.
And these are the hot headlines that are really going to impact the AI landscape and really come down to the everyday person.
Starting out this year, what has been really popping off so far, Lana?
This will be the year, I think, of AI agents. First, it was the large language models like the Chat GPTs and Gemini and all of the different interactive models where you can basically ask it questions and it gives language back. Now, I think we're going to move into even more interaction, where instead of it being written word, it's going to be an AI agent that can do autonomous tasks for you.
Exactly.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be.
So OpenAI just released Operator. Operator is an AI agent, but essentially what it does is it will open up a web browser and it will do a task for you, like booking your travel, booking your reservation for dinner, doing online shopping,
ordering groceries. And so it becomes more interactive than just ChatGPT, but there's still the same interface. You're still prompting it, you're still chatting with it, but it will then go and execute a task for you.
But what's really interesting about it is OpenAI is also really working with a lot of companies to collaborate on it. Mm-hmm. So they're working with DoorDash and Instacart and StubHub. Yeah. So it's really a cool way to get you doing things that you don't really love to do. I mean, most people, these are tasks that are just boring, repetitive, and now you can have tech do it for you.
While you can move on to other things.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be great. I think it will free up a lot of time. Also, you know, what we really need to do is also get all of my friends' calendars on the same page.
You want to sync all of the operators?
With our friends group. All of our agents to be like, you available? Oh yeah, she's available. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We've got dinner reservations
we
booked
got
out.
brunch go.
Yeah, we don't need to go the 18 texts of everyone's availability, right?
I love that. So one of the other things I wanted to highlight about this space, there are other AI companies who have similar platforms as well.
Yes.
Like Perplexity AI has one as well. The major difference is that these are platforms, AI platforms that are connected to the internet. They're connected to the web. So they're just really allowing that user interface to connect to all of these other platforms to execute the task for you. So that's really the biggest difference out of just having like a Chat GPT or a Gemini just going through a database, just going through data and browsing the internet, connecting to other sites, other platforms, allows the AI tool to actually execute a task for you with that said, you have to make sure that you're connected to all of these other platforms. There is some extra work in there. You do have to have accounts on all of these other platforms in order for a system like Operator to work for you. But just on a day-to-day level, it is executing the task.
The other thing that I wanted to bring up, I think a lot of people are like, well, what happens if it makes a mistake? So what they're really building into it is a feature for confirmation. So it will actually confirm with you as the user, hey, I'm about to make this reservation. I'm about to book this flight. Is this all correct? So it is catching itself, because especially when it is tied to your credit card, then there needs to be that added layer of protection to make sure that you as the user confirm everything.
Exactly. There is a lot of just setting up. You have to connect it with certain accounts. You have to put your credit card, financial information in, or bank account. You have to link a few things before it's fully automated. But yes, it will eventually get to that point where then it will feel seamless.
It will feel seamless to you once you set it up.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that that's good. But I really appreciated that as I was reading and learning more about it. What happens if they makes a mistake? It picks the wrong day, or, well, then there's user confirmation. So we can all feel rest assured. But I do think that this will be iterations, and it will only continue to get better and better.
The interesting part is that there have been other AI task tools. It is a lot of big headlines around Operator, but there have been other task assistant tools out there like Zapier and a few others that connect and will schedule your appointment on your calendar and things like that. So I think they kind of promote themselves more for business. One of the things that OpenAI does very, very well is that they really market themselves for the everyday user. Buy your groceries, book your travel, set up your dog walking appointment.
It's very consumer facing.
Exactly. The way that they market it. But I just want to point out that this isn't anything brand new to the marketplace of task-oriented AI tools. It's just that the way that they are positioning and marketing it off the heels of ChatGPT, it definitely does have that more friendly consumer interface.
Yeah, because they already have people using their product. So genius on OpenAI's part, but
A+ for their marketing division.
Yes, but there's also a government focus, and so OpenAI has also been getting a lot of news for Sam Altman doing a closed door briefing with the U.S. government on PhD level agents.
Yes.
Which, can you imagine what these PhD
That's
level
why
agents
it was closed
can do?
door. That's why it was closed door.
Exactly.
The AGIs.
That is why it's closed door.
A lot of people have been anticipating what AGI will be and what that will look like. And so I wonder if they've made a lot of strides, and that's why it's a closed door sort of situation.
It doesn't actually even stop there, because they actually just launched a Chat GPT Gov.
Yes.
And that is for U.S. government agencies to manage compliance and security and privacy. So it seems like AI, it's not just really for the consumer sector, it's really permeating government. And I think that that's really interesting to see OpenAI making waves in that direction.
Government workers and government contractors have wanted to use AI tools, but from a concern standpoint around confidentiality, ethics, bias, all of that, a lot of these types of companies related to the IRS, companies related to national security, things like that. There's been several conversations that we've had off camera and off recording about these sort of employees wanting to use AI and haven't had the freedom to with some of their internal work. And so I think that this is the step in that direction, to be able to have something that's more protected with the data from specifically those entities that are allowing their employees, their staff, their members to use the advancements of an AI platform or tool, but have that security and protection around it.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, because when you're dealing with sensitive data like that, we just cannot be on just an open source model, just everybody knowing everybody's personal information.
I even know of some government employees where the entities and their firms are giving them different phones for work, because they don't want them just using their personal phone and doing company confidential work on their personal phone. So they're giving them company phones that don't have AI tools or have proprietary cleared AI tools. So all of this is very much just the beginning, you guys, of OpenAI getting in more into our governmental space, our national space, but not just them doing it. I mean, everybody on the big sort of AI godfathers, if you will, on that side, are getting more and more into the government and the policies and the committees with the tech sector and the advancement with artificial intelligence. And, we're seeing this with some of the statements that are being made by our government around technology. It's just going to increase and increase. So I'm glad that we're covering this now, but there's going to be more to talk about it in the future.
Absolutely. But now listen, Aisha, we should really get into the hottest of the T's.
Okay.
The
yes.
hottest of the T's.
It starts with the D.
Yeah. It is the hottest headline that everyone's talking about. I mean, it really set the tech world ablaze.
Yes. DeepSeek, you guys.
Yes. The Chinese company that just came to the scene and really has revolutionized AI as we know it. So DeepSeek is a Chinese company that has just released their AI model, and their AI model kind of competes with the likes of the ChatGPTs and the Geminis and the Perplexities. Yes. But what was so significant about it is it caused NVIDIA's stock to drop $600 billion, impacted US stocks by $1 trillion.
And mainly in the tech sector. All of tech in the US sector stocks dropped because of DeepSeek.
And you might be asking why? Why would this new kid on the block cause all of this?
What's the big deal?
Cause all of this chaos. The reason why is because they were able to create this AI model at a cheaper cost with lower quality chips. That's very significant because a lot of companies here in the US especially have been pouring lots of money into AI.
Yeah.
And so if all of a sudden you can create a similar product at a fraction of the cost with lower quality chips, that's a game-changing moment.
Yes. And so just to give you guys a bit more insight, there has been some bans and some parameters and limitations set on China having access to chips from NVIDIA and within the US. So before that ban had officially happened, the founder of DeepSeek had gotten some chips together that were NVIDIA chips, but older models, and apparently only spent $6 million launching this open source AI tool and platform, and it outperformed all of the other AI platforms. It outperformed Claude Anthropic, it outperformed Perplexity, it outperformed OpenAI's ChatGPT.
That spent way more than $6 million.
Exactly. So the list goes on and on.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does without me lifting a finger, so I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
And so that is why there's been such a big uproar about the comparison of them having a better performing, higher performing LLM and doing it with older, limited resources and at a fraction of the cost compared to what the other tech companies have been spending and doing. And this is all around the same time that US has been announcing like billion-dollar plans and programs in the AI space. And then you have little old DeepSeek coming and be like, hey, I just outperformed you guys for $6 million. Another thing that just also came hot off the press about DeepSeek is that OpenAI is claiming that they have evidence that DeepSeek tapped into their data and their database through ChatGPT to build DeepSeek. So it's too soon to confirm all of this. Maybe by the time this episode comes out, it's confirmed because AI is moving so quickly. But there is also those types of news and accusations coming around DeepSeek. Also, another thing, as we were just talking about the protection around governmental access to AI, the U.S. Navy also banned using DeepSeek because, again, security, protection, confidentiality concerns, because DeepSeek is a company from China.
Yeah, so that's the other element that's going on here is there's the geopolitical situation. It is an AI race. It's always going to be about security and being number one because of the fact that technology can impact national security.
Yes.
And so there are all of these things. I mean, it's interesting with DeepSeek because DeepSeek also went to number one on the App Store.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the reason why that's significant, if you guys really think about it, is we had this whole controversy with TikTok, right? And the big part of the TikTok controversy was the fact that it was a China-based company. And what are they doing with our information and data?
Yeah. And then the users of TikTok, when they thought TikTok was going away, they jumped on Redbook,
which is another Chinese company. It was very interesting to me because now DeepSeek comes out. It's another Chinese company. The question then becomes, okay, what protections do we have in place to protect our data? Whether it's China, whether it's another country, it doesn't really matter. It's a question of if you are in the United States, What is the access that you want to give out to global companies?
Yeah.
But we are also a global economy. So there's a lot of different moving pieces. I don't know necessarily what the answers are, but I did think it was interesting that we literally just banned TikTok and then DeepSeek comes and goes right to number 1 on the App Store. Like, that's a very ironic situation to have happen.
Well, this is going to continue to happen.
Yes.
Because we are a global market. This is a global economy, and AI is exacerbating more and more of the global access.
Is it banning the apps, or do we need to put more rules and regulations in place about the data and how it's shared?
Exactly.
Because I don't think that banning apps is necessarily going to be the right way to handle this, because we have family in different parts of the world. We are a very multicultural, multinational society.
Yeah.
So to just start banning apps, I don't know if that's really the answer, or does there need to be more protections put in place to manage the real issue, which is data sharing?
Yeah, well, other countries do ban apps.
Yeah.
And I think the difference of why there's a conversation around it for the U.S. is because U.S. definitely has the promotion of democracy, freedom of speech, freedom of access. So I think because of that, people have a view on when the U.S. bans an app. Now, I'm not taking a position on if it's right or wrong here, because that's not where we're trying to dive into right yet. But what I am highlighting is that, you know, other countries do it. When U.S. does it, it's all over in the headlines. And I think that you're right, that what the true essence of what's the concern is the data protection. So maybe there just needs to be more focus and more research and more conversation, more building around that factor of it versus the quick fix. I'm doing air quotes here, but the quick fix of just ban the app.
Yeah, because with TikTok specifically, a lot of people had their businesses. A lot of people had TikTok shops.
Yeah, there were 7 million small businesses on TikTok that got impacted by
the ban that
if it
undid itself. That was another big tech news.
Well, and it's still pending. So it's like if it officially does go away, there's still 7 million small businesses that would be impacted by anything that happens with TikTok.
Yeah, but I think you made a really good point, though, about in other countries, access to information is limited.
Yeah.
And it's not just, we're talking about AI. We are talking about AI, but we're talking about technology. We're talking about data protection. We're talking about AI race. We're talking about geopolitical situations.
Society, globalization,
human
all of
nature.
It. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that this conversation is a much bigger conversation.
Yeah.
And so you have to educate yourself on every part of the process, because how are you going to be able to make decisions? How you vote, how you spend your money, how you allow your information to be used. All of this is impacted by tech.
Yes, by this one little thing called artificial intelligence, you guys. So as you can see here on the AI Chicks, you know, we're just solving world problems, as you can see. But I think we covered a good amount of stuff. I mean, we could, Lana and I could talk about this stuff all day. Literally, we do. But for now, I think we covered a good amount of stuff for you guys to really just dive into it a little bit more on your own time. But, you know, there's going to be a lot more headlines coming up that we're going to just put on your radar. But for now, I think we did a good job, right?
I think so. It's always about staying informed here at the AI Chicks.
Exactly.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed our headlines episode, and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and
cop that merch, you guys. All right, take care. Bye.
Listen to the AI Chicks on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Video episodes are available on Patreon. And check out our socials at The AI Chicks.